What's up, guys? Mason the Rock Henderson here, and this is Supergirl, Season 3, Episode 10, Legion of Superheroes. So, second half of the season has started back up, and I'm not going to lie, I was indeed putting this off. It's been a while since I've been able to watch any shows, but I have had probably a few days that I could have been watching a show, getting caught back up. But I just knew that Supergirl is probably the first one I'd have to start with, just because, it makes sense to start with the Monday show and then go to the Tuesday shows in this getting caught back up cycle. And I just really did not want to watch this show anymore. I'm just at that point where part of me knows that I could just stop watching it, but the other part of me is like, but if I do, maybe something I might miss, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll connect to the rest of the Arrowverse somehow. So, anyway, yeah, we pick back up with this episode, Legion of Superheroes, and it introduces the Legion of Superheroes, which is Mon-El's team. Although I think there's probably a few more characters that we have yet to meet, but we do meet a new one in this one, which is actually one of the few things about this episode that I really did enjoy, which is Brainiac 5, Brainy as they call him, that part of it I don't like. It's a stupid name. Come on, Brainy? I mean, just stuff for kids. But yeah, another Brainiac, apparently, another cyborg/human that was created. And I don't know, I find that very interesting because Brainiac was always an interesting character to me, an interesting villain. And so to see that there's a good guy who's like the fifth version of him, and I don't know how it all connects. There's probably actually a character that he's based off of that I don't know because I don't know comic books. But I really did enjoy him. He was a very, very witty character, a lot of funny lines coming out of him, and also is interesting, his powers. He has this ship that he can control, which is awesome because it made me feel kind of like Star Trek a little bit. But when he's talking to Kara in her mind, that was an interesting time, He's talking to her about trying to figure out how to get out of her mind, and his powers on top of that are really cool. So, yeah, I really did enjoy his character. One of the other things that I did enjoy is I enjoy getting to learn the backstory about Mon-El and his crew, which is kind of ironic that I've had so much more time with Kara and Alex and all of these people at the DEO. I've had so much more time with them, but I care less about their story and more about Mon-El and Emra and Brainy. Those are the people I care about right now because their story is more interesting to me. It's so ironic, but that's just how it is. The story writers have not done a good enough job making me care about the real crew, that this new crew that they've brought in just from the future. I'm already like 10 times more invested in them because I'm like, what's going to happen, They're talking about apparently the Earth has been destroyed, which does kind of make me think they stole that from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a little bit. But they're talking about these aliens that apparently are able to just destroy everything in their path. But Brainiac found a way to stop them, and the answer lies in their DNA and their blood. So if they die, they lose that. They lose the chance to save the future. So that's an interesting premise, and I love that story. It's something I wish I could watch instead of what's going on right now, which is the Jimmy Lena love hour, and then Supergirl bitching and whining about everything. But anyway, so we see them, they're trying to figure out whether or not they should help with Rain destroying everything. Meanwhile, Brainiac is trying to help Supergirl out of her coma. And then there's a little thing on the side with Lena and Jimmy. Because we all care so much about that, right? Let's spend about 15 minutes in this episode discussing Lena and Jimmy. Discussing how Jimmy feels awkward because Kara is in a coma right now, and he can't tell her about Kara being Supergirl, so he can't express how concerned he is for her, and so he's trying to figure out if he should tell her or not. And Lena thinks that he's upset because, I'm a Luthor, and because of my name, people just always see me as just evil and not good, and I don't care. I don't care about either of them. Lena was interesting last season because they kind of made it seem like she might be evil, which I still don't understand that scene now where they're talking about how she was better than Lex Luthor at chess, and I just remember thinking at the time, are they saying that she might be evil, or is this just a throwaway thing that's playing with our expectations? Ooh, she might be evil, guys. Psych, she's not. in which case that scene makes no sense at all. Um, and so we're still here. She's just now one of Carl's girlfriends, and oh yeah, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna discuss boys, and oh, Jimmy's such a great kisser, and oh, I don't know what to do, I mean, I'm a Luther, oh my gosh, what does that mean for me? Now she's just such an uninteresting character, and it kind of relates last season to Win, where first season Win, really interesting character, he's funny, a lot of good one-liners, and he kind of has a thing for Kara, but he's being friend-zoned, and so you kind of feel for him a little bit. But that wasn't his character, after she was interested in Jimmy, he sort of let it go. He's like, all right, so I don't have a chance with her, that's fine. They gave him a backstory with his dad being the toy maker, I think was his dad. I can't remember what villain he was, but they gave him an interesting backstory there and made it, difficult for him. He was a truly interesting character in the first season. Second season, it was all about some girl that he was into, some alien girl. And that was his entire story, was just that. This season, Lena, same thing. Last season, it was all about, is she evil, is she not? She's dealing with her family history. Being a Luther sucks. This season, it's all about Jimmy. And that's it. And once again, it's a relationship built on all they did was argue. That's not a good foundation for a relationship at all. So, obviously the worst part of the show right now, just Jimmy and Lena. I wish they would stop giving them so much time, but it's clear that they are making this one of the main stories for some reason. Then we get to Kara's side of the story. She's going through this little coma thing, and at first it seemed like maybe she was scared to get out of her mind because something was still keeping her in, even though she was physically very healthy. And so I thought it was going to be a fierce story, but it turned out to be a she needs to be Kara story. That was what her subconscious was trying to get through to her, is that you need to be Kara. You went into that Rain fight thinking, I need to be an alien, which kind of has been most of this season, to be fair. This is a storyline that actually has been built up. Is this whole, she's trying to figure out, is she human, is she alien? Well, this season she wanted to be alien because she was tired of being human. Being human hurts too much, so I'm going to be an alien now. And so this episode is finally where she realizes, oh, I need to be Kara as well. So I don't know. It wasn't that interesting because I feel like this whole storyline with her just being emotionless and uncaring has been stupid in the first place. But it's nice to see that they finally gotten over that and given her Kara back. And then we get to what's going on in the outside world, which is Rain attacking. And Mon-El and his crew trying to figure out, should we help, should we not? At one point, the DEO seems like they figured out how to stop her. They've got some kryptonite that they can use against her, and then it turns out, oh, she's much more powerful than kryptonite. And so then she goes to a prison where she's going to kill a bunch of prisoners that are being held there because she feels like that's justice. And then Mon-El and his team are like, all right, we're going to help. So they step in to help. Kara wakes up, injects her with some kryptonite, and now she's weak. I will say that Rain's storyline is getting pretty interesting. I do have to go back, though, because I've missed this one stupid scene that I kind of want to forget about because the show kind of forgot about it. I talked about how the first half of the season ended with Ruby coming down the stairs and Sam is standing there and she's just like in a rain pose as she turns around, and before she turns all the way around, Supergirl symbol, and it ends. And I'm just like, what are they going for here? Are they trying to make me scared for Ruby's life? Because one, I said this in my last review, but I'll repeat it. One, we've already seen that she turns from Sam into Rain and back into Sam. She turns back and forth. So very good possibility she's Sam whenever she wakes up. Two, we've seen that she only hunts down bad guys, which means Ruby should not be in any danger because she's not a bad person. And lastly, is this supposed to be a cliffhanger? What are you going for here? I don't really understand what the purpose of it was. Well, we get into this one, and what do we see? We see Ruby running away like she might be scared. She's like, slow motion, and Sam is walking towards her with like scowl on her face, like, and then Ruby goes around the corner and hides, and then smiles as she turns around the corner and has a little dart gun or something and shoots her. She's like, ah, and I'm like, are you... all of this for a joke? That wasn't even funny? Really? So, that was pointless. But Rain's storyline is getting more interesting. You know, after this whole episode, we see that she's still talking to that hologram lady in her Hall of not Hall of Justice, Fortress of Solitude. She's talking to her throughout most of this episode, talking about her purpose. Alex goes to that one guy in prison that's all about Kara, you know, sees her as a god, and is asking him about what's going on. You know, Supergirl is going to win, and he's like, no, she rejected her faith, and so that's why she lost. She's already lost. And whenever Rain goes to the prison, she sees him, and he's like quoting some sort of Rao scripture. She's like, what, you think that will save you? And he's like, no, you don't have to save me. You just have to let me be your servant or whatever. And so at the end of the episode, she goes back to her Fortress of Solitude. The woman's talking to her and says, hey, there are more like you, and you just have to find them. And then that guy steps in, and he's like kind of talking with the hologram. So I don't know if he's responsible for this, or maybe whoever this woman in the hologram is controlling him and using him. I don't quite know what his connection to all of this is yet, but it appears that she might not have been the only baby sent off Krypton right before it exploded. You know, we saw that one baby being loaded into the pod, you know, blood mark on its head, and then shot off at the end of last season. Maybe that wasn't the only one. Maybe that's the twist that they're going for here, is that was, you know, maybe that wasn't even Sam. Maybe that was just another one of these kids that was sent off right before the planet exploded. And so they're going to have like a team of Kryptonians that are going to take on Kara. Admittedly, it's still Kryptonian, so it's not like it's anything new, but a team of Kryptonians would be quite the challenge for Supergirl and friends. So, yeah, I will say that has gotten a bit interesting, but it's still not good yet. There's still a lot of problems with it. You know, obviously Jimmy and Lena are the biggest problem of all. But yeah, there's still quite a few problems that I think they're just, I don't know. It's like the writers don't really know certain directions, what they want to do with some of these characters. They've kind of gone stale with the main cast, which it took the writers of Arrow like 4 seasons before that happened. We're only 3rd season. So I don't know. I feel like there's so much more potential here that they're not quite capturing, and that's the disappointing part. So anyway, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts in this episode? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for more Supergirl reviews. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.